Welcome to Madame Page's French Immersion kindergarten class. We are excited to share with you our Rainforest unit. For the past 2 years, my classes have participated in a Rainforest unit. It was developed by 3 or 4 teachers about 5 years ago as a differentiated inquiry unit. As with everything else in education, this unit has evolved and changes have been made to fit the learning needs of my students. This unit touches on many aspects of the kindergarten curriculum and includes many hands-on activities, art projects, science projects, movement activities, and nonfiction texts. It also affords opportunity for evaluation as the school year comes to an end. My goal for this unit, as with any unit that I teach in kindergarten, is French language acquisition. It is during this first year of French immersion that students need to be introduced to French vocabulary, have every chance possible to use it orally, and begin to read and write simple sentences in French. In any program, be it in French immersion, in support of English language learners in the mainstream classroom, or teaching at any age, teaching the vocabulary before the students are to use it to read or write is just good teaching practice. To bring environmental awareness to the forefront in our classroom, the students started off participating in Earth Week. We focused on how to be earth-friendly in our classroom and in our community. We focused on recycling and how to reduce, reuse, and recycle in our classroom. By doing a sort with our snack wrappers and some pictures of everyday items, students became aware that we really do not need to put much, if anything, in the garbage. We started a small classroom recycling center that included all recyclables except for glass. We were excited to learn that we could put it all in the green recycling bin outside as long as it was in a clear plastic bag. We also participated in the school-wide activities that brought attention to saving the earth, such as a day without paper, a day without lights and technology, and a community cleanup. We then turned our attention to a place a little farther away, to the rainforest. As we ventured forward looking at where a tropical rainforest might be on a globe, it was surprising how many students had never seen a 3D globe. Next, we discussed living versus non-living things and did a sorting project on the smartboard. We discussed what it meant to be alive and what living beings needed to stay alive. We also brainstormed how the rainforest environment should and could be protected. Throughout the unit, we talked about pollution and how people can have an impact on the rainforest. I picked specific vocabulary to focus on during the unit, most of which was generalizable to other subjects and everyday communication. We focused on 10 animals and then 7 verbs. Some of the verbs had already been covered in our Verb of the Week that we had done in the spring. These action words were all generalizable to us as humans. 2 of the songs we learned during this unit were songs from YouTube that had vocabulary that was generalizable and was not too difficult to understand. The students had fun with the songs and using the actions we made up. The poem Trois Petits Singes was our shared reading. We practiced it every day, talking about the difference between letters and words, and also looked at simple subtraction as the crocodile in the poem ate the poor little monkeys. I created a book to go with this poem to be used for independent reading with their book bags. Once we were really good at reciting this poem, the students recorded it so that it could be added to our class webpage to support parents at home with home reading. We worked with animal names and adding verbs to them to create a collaborative class book. We also worked on the sentence structure, je vois. We practiced the phrase orally using vocabulary cards during carpet time. They practiced writing the phrase during Daily 5. They completed the phrase during an independent writing activity. And then we had fun outside with binoculars using the phrase in our schoolyard. Daily 5 focused on earth-friendly words and rainforest vocabulary. Here are some examples of literacy and numeracy centers that the students participated in. Write the Room, Word Detective, Stamping the Alphabet, Connecting numbers on geoboards to make snakes, a monkey dice addition game, je vois phrase writing, hole punching to match given numbers, colored puff balls and toothpicks to make 3D shapes, and a few more. Every 5 or 6 weeks, my students have a chef du jour or a leader of the day project to present to the class, to work on oral skills, and develop confidence in speaking. This time, the students were to complete a home research project that was very open-ended. The only criteria given was that the students pick a rainforest animal and be ready to share at least 5 unique characteristics about that animal. Usually the chef du jour projects are created at home in English, and then we try and work on the vocabulary in French in class. Although science is really not part of the kindergarten curriculum, I use it as a springboard for literacy activities. We welcome butterfly larvae into our classroom with the hopes of seeing the life cycle of the butterfly. Unfortunately, this year we had some sick caterpillars that did not make it, but last year we had a huge success seeing the life cycle of the butterfly and then releasing them. We planted hair for our fathers for Father's Day and discussed what plants need to live. Last year we also planted grass seed on a sponge and made predictions if it would grow. The students had to use their new knowledge of what living things need to survive in order to help make their predictions. We also did an experiment using soda and raisins, aka bugs, to make more predictions in our journals. It was a fun one to do. We made snake patterns with blocks and manipulatives, and we also made snake patterns to cut out. The students did a measuring activity using a ruler made of snakes. After they were finished, they used a snake ruler to then measure their snacks. The students made 3D homes for animals using toothpicks and marshmallows. The students did an incredible job painting caterpillars and then butterflies using Q-tips and being mindful of the symmetry you see on the wings of butterflies. The students participated as we did a guided monkey drawing. We drew the monkeys step by step all together, but the end products were all quite different. The students loved making rain sticks using a paper towel roll, tin foil, beans and lentils, and duct tape. They did a great job decorating them. We did a lot of movement exercises using the animal walks we were focusing on during this unit. We also had Fruit Friday, when the students could bring in fruit to share with the class, some of which were eaten by some of the rainforest animals. To end the unit, we took a field trip to the zoo. As the students explored that day, they completed a bingo card by taking pictures with iPods. A day or two after, the students got to see all of their pictures that I had downloaded to iPhoto and then set on slideshow. As blurry as some of the pictures were, the students loved seeing pictures of themselves and their friends, and a wonderful conversation about animals began. How they moved, what they ate, what they look like, and the list goes on. I had one student take a picture of garbage on the ground and say how it could hurt the animals and that it should have been recycled. It was a great way to wrap up our unit. Throughout this unit, the students showed a desire to learn. They communicated very well using their new French vocabulary. They loved making things, and they showed very different ways of expressing their new knowledge.